Hey, Quack Pack, I'm right on the tail end of a cold. School is in session. We've had a few weeks, and of course, yeah, the immune system got smacked in the face. So I was down a little bit last week. Much better just have some scratchy throat and coughing from it. But yeah, anyhow, a lot of people requested this. This is something that doesn't get a lot of use in Lucky Ducky Creek Band. But this was instrumental to the first band I played in. Talking about gear right here. This is the Lowrider, as you see right here. And what it is a bottom of the barrel Ibanez Geo bass, like a GSR something, I don't know. Yeah, the Geo version of the sound gear, as you can see. This is not a factory color. It is my only refinished. And I was really lucky, but there's a story behind it. So here's the thing: I grew up in North Platte, Nebraska. Went to college in Hastings, Nebraska. I wanted to play in bands, but North Platte did not have a lot of opportunities. Thankfully, they've got a better music scene now than they did back when I lived there, but there just wasn't a lot of opportunities. And in college, I brought a guitar that I got chamois. You saw the green guitar, the green and gold one. Got that my freshman year in high school. Didn't really start to play with others until college. I just wanted to play in a band even more. Well, when I was in North Platte, I was kind of bored. My longtime college girlfriend of 4 years and we broke up. And well, we didn't break up. She left me, womp womp. But anyhow, so I was just kind of sitting with something, wanting something to do, and I heard there's a band that needs a bass player, and I'm like, ooh. And I'm like, I play guitar, but I don't play bass. And I called up a couple friends and said, how easy is it to fake bass? And they said, roots and fifths, baby, roots and fifths. And if you feel ambitious, octaves. And I had a couple friends just show me, like Blitzkrieg Bop, do 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 do, and I'm like, okay, I think this is my ticket to being in a band. And so what I did was I went to the North Platte Pawn Shop. They had this for $100. It was in a pewter gray finish. I paid cash, walked out, showed up to the practice, and I play bass, yeah. And here's the catch. The band's name was Latin Jam, and they exclusively played cumbias y rancheras. I am not Latino, as you can tell. So it was a lot of Spanish music. We were like, Aye, timbalero, baila conmigo, este song, we did La Puerta Negra. We did Está cerrada con tres contados. And I don't speak Spanish fluently. I fake it because I took 3 years in high school. That's it. I had to teach it really quick last minute at one school I taught at in Omaha because they had nobody else that could, and I knew more than anyone else could. And so I even taught it, and that was the scariest thing in my life. Not being fluent and having to teach it, so I had to really buckle down on that. But anyhow, yeah, I was not Latino, and it was all this Spanish music, and then I learned, I can't just play the roots. I had to do the cumbia, dum, 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 and then rancheras were easier, excuse me, not rancheras, rancheras, sorry, I'm trying to say it right, which is like a polka. I'm a quarter Polish, a quarter Czech, so I can vibe with that. I learned that, and I'm like, okay. They didn't have anyone else, so they let me be the bassist for about a solid year. The only thing, they let me know how bad I was. They were like, we were expecting more. This is disappointing. You didn't meet our expectations, but you're in the band. And I'm like, oh. But not bad for a guy that just showed up with a bass and didn't know how to play it at all. So that ain't bad. I played with them, and the gimmick was for many shows, because I was not Latino, they would hide me behind a pillar. I would play bass hidden. And then I would come out behind the pillar and I would sing Freddie Fender's "Hey Baby, ¿qué pasó? Thought I was your only vato," and people would laugh. And then they would say, "Get back behind the pillar," and I'd be like, "Oh, okay." And so I'd hide behind the pillar. Did that for about a year, and then I got demoted because even though I improved, they wanted a guy that could actually play bass, which I don't blame them. And they did get a guy that can actually play bass, but I learned from that experience. A lot of times you can learn from a book, you can learn from YouTube videos, but playing in a group, that's where you really learn. And then also I learned how to treat my bandmates. The people who ran the band, and by the way, I lost touch with all of those band members. I don't keep in touch with any of them. Like, I don't know if some of them might be dead because they were older when I was in the band. But they would say, "Okay, here's a song, key of C, you hear the changes, use your ear." Well, being a front man of Lucky Ducky Creek Band, I can't do that to the people in my band. Grand Island isn't a terrible music scene, but it doesn't have a great one, you know. It's not huge. The people I get, I can't do that. They would walk out of a practice. They're not like me, who I can take abuse. I've kind of learned that. I can take it. I'm pretty tough. And I can listen and, okay, I'm figuring it out. I'm going to cry right now because I feel terrible, but I'll pick it up and do it again. Not everyone can do that, and that's okay. It shouldn't be hard. I make sure I write out all of the chords, and I send practice videos and any other help if you need a private practice before we do that. And it's also because I'm a teacher. I'm a music teacher at heart, so at the heart of it, Lucky Ducky is educational. In a couple weeks, you're going to meet some of our new members. We're recording the Christmas album in a couple weeks, and I'm practicing with the newer members, and I'm going to try to get some video so you can meet them, so it's going to be really cool. But part of Lucky Ducky, it's not only my own music, but it's education. It's showing others anyone can do it, because I'm not very good. If I'm not very good and can do this, you can do it too. That's the point. Yeah. So anyhow, but I was in the band for a year. It was tough. I was learning as I go, lots of yelling. It's a C, now G, now this. And it was just come on, you know, and I try not to have that in the band that I have. I have you're set up to succeed. If you don't know how to do it, I will show you how to do it and help you. If you can't do it, I'll figure out a way to cover it. But anyhow, so that formed me a lot. And even though it was rough, one thing, one of the guys in the band had a car painting company where he did the pinstriping, and I was like, "Is it okay for me to ask for that on my bass?" And he was able to do it. He sprayed it a silver. He used House of Kolor paint, and it is factory. It looks like it came the way, but I love subtle whoosh and whoosh, but it's gorgeous. Less is more. It is so gorgeous. This strap is from Lekato. It's the knockoff of the zero gravity strap. Comes from the same factory but different name. Great for the shoulder. Oh man, it's awesome. Strongly recommend. Strongly. And then one of my friends wrote Lowrider on the truss rod cover because I named this the Lowrider because it's a bass. Now here's the thing. This is my least fancy instrument. I paid $100 used at a pawn shop for it, but I played in Latin Jam. I played in a country band called Fifth of Wisdom. I have played numerous hired gun gigs for church worship. I even got to be on a thing that toured eastern Nebraska and western Iowa doing worship. This bass was $100, but there were different opportunities, and I'm not even a real bass player. The Hal Leonard Bass Method book will help you kind of get there, and I've been playing through that with my students, and I'm getting there. I'm getting to real bass player land, but this opened doors more than any other instrument. And I have another student that I've kind of shown, where every guitar student I have, I try to teach bass to, because the bass opens the doors. Everyone wants to be the guitar player. No one wants to play bass, but the bass, it's a little bit lower stress. You and the percussionist become good buddies because you're essentially more of a percussion instrument. And then also, this instrument has actually made the most money of any of the other instruments. Almost all of the paying gigs I've got have been hired gun as a bassist, even though I'm not a real bassist. I tell you, this baby has made, it's made at least $10,000 over the years. I've had enough paid gigs where this $100 bass that had a friend do the custom pinstripe thing, and I think he did that for free. I can't even remember, it was so long ago. That was so nice of him, but he joked that would help me blend in with the band, but anyhow. So it's not appropriation. It was done for me and given to me. But yeah, bass has opened doors. I'm not going to say bass is easier than guitar. Bass players will kill me for that. But if you really play bass, yeah, it's harder. It's its own animal, but it's good to learn both. When you're learning power chords on guitar, I teach the bass roots, so you memorize the neck of the fretboard, the fretboard on the neck. I'm glad I played bass. If it wasn't for this bass, there would be no Lucky Ducky Creek Band. This $100 bass has paid for itself many, many, many times over, and roots in the fifths and octaves can get you far, and knowing a cumbia and ranchera pattern, great even too. And a blues walk, yeah. You know, yeah. Strongly recommend anyone who plays guitar, play bass. This gets you in bands. Yes, you're not going to be 100% happy, but you might get paid. And then you might also get to know other musicians, and you get experience. And yeah, it's hard to get experience as a musician because people still think musicians need exposure. Musicians die of exposure. Right now I'm on life support. Lucky Ducky's had lots of exposure, and I'm hoping we get some paying things coming our way, but I don't know. I need to next summer do a Patreon or something. I've had people say you could do a Patreon and do it, but I don't want to e-big. But anyhow, I'm just saying, eventually the paying gigs will come, but until then, you can make money playing bass. And so, yeah, this is the Lowrider, the bottom of the barrel, Ibanez GSR something, I forgot the number, I think 200, custom painted with House of Kolor paint, by one of my friends. It's simple but beautiful, and I never need, nothing aside from the paint job was an upgrade. So $100 was enough to make money for me and give me exposure and give me experience and introduce me to other musicians. So just goes to show you, great gear is great, but a cheap Ibanez bass is enough to make you a pocket player in bands. That's just what I'm going to say. Now, once you pocket play, develop your craft. Try to actually play bass. I'm getting there, and you and I can get there together if you want. So, strongly would recommend. Anyhow, quack you later. That's this bass. People have been asking about this bass. And, oh yeah, I did put pretty little abalone knobs just because they're pretty, and the bass is pretty, and it's, I don't know, pretty. But yeah. So that's what I got to say that. Anyhow, stay lucky, stay ducky, my friends.